So, here we are in 2021, and welcome back to my office and place of work. I do my recordings in here because it's where all my computers are, so it's really easy to do. So, I hope you'll bear with me, and all the files and bits and pieces behind me won't be too much of a distraction. I did wonder if we'd make it to 2021 with all the things that were on the news. Certainly, there was a lot of discussion about it. The pandemic seemed to take over pretty much everything. And then there was the B word. Did also wonder if we'd survive the toilet bowl droughts of March and October. And many of us already knew that it would end in tears. Pause just a second. No? Did you get it? I hope so. I hope you've all had a great festive season. Enjoyed the cheery lights, the fantastically clear moon, the joy of the crisp frosty mornings, and the first official white Christmas in 3 years when snow fell on Humberside and Suffolk, and the Met Office declared it a white Christmas to the delight of those who've been betting on it every year. COVID-19 has and continues to dominate much of our thoughts and lifestyles. It has a massive influence on what we're doing, and it's on the news all the time. It feels somewhat overwhelming, and this feeling has started me thinking about something a friend of mine said a little while ago. It's been proven that thankfulness is a super powerful tool in keeping our mental health in a good state. It's all too easy in these times where doom and gloom are on the news all the time that we lose sight of the things which we can be thankful for. Being thankful helps us to focus on what we already have. It helps us to promote a positive mental attitude, and it helps keep us grounded when life feels out of control and we feel things slipping away from us. I have to admit, it's not something I find particularly easy. Angela is so much better at this than me, but I am working on it. Promise. The Christian worldview is centred on our belief in the Trinity, the Holy Trinity of God. The incarnation of God in Jesus and his sacrifice for us. We understand the true meaning of Christmas. It's not gifts. It's Jesus. Jesus is the centre of that. Jesus is the ultimate gift. One which we can hold on to no matter what is going on around us. One to which we can look to and which will inspire us to a state of mind which will help us transcend this worldly planet we live on. People of faith are known to be happier than those without it. They're known for being more generous, forgiving and thoughtful to their communities. Obviously, this doesn't apply to just Christian communities of faith, but that's where we're at. Our faith in God allows us the chance to put our faith in something other than people, money, companies, governments or jobs. God is the creator. God is all-powerful. God is the source of our hope and the inspiration for our faith. When we hand over our cares to God by means of prayer or ritual, we can find the freedom and peace which can only come from that place of security. In this new year, I am tasking myself to become more thankful, to consider each day the amazing things that I have in my life, to keep myself grounded in faith and to ensure that I maintain my mental health. It's really important. I only need to step away from my busy life for a moment to realise just how amazingly blessed I have been and continue to be in my life. I found it helpful a little while ago to make a list. Nothing grandiose or extensive. I didn't have to go on Excel or Microsoft Word, but just a prompt to remind me, some notes to remind me to be thankful for what I have, for my wife, my children, house, food, car, work, money, safety. All these things came really quickly to mind. But I do appreciate that not everybody's list is going to be the same as mine, and that these lists change with time and circumstances. As I started to think more widely, I realised just how blessed I am. And this has encouraged me to be thankful. And in my thankfulness, I could be really specific. And I found that really helpful. I am worried about the future. I worry about all the recent events, all the Brexit nonsense and all that stuff going on. We've yet to learn what that's going to mean for us as a country and for our children. But I realised just how blessed I am. And this encouraged me hand it over to God, to learn to hand those worries over to God. There is little I can achieve by worrying. It's very much wasted time, energy, and brain space. 2020 was a year almost completely overshadowed by a single event. The pandemic has forced us to be separated from our church, our friends, our family, our children, our relatives. And I found this to be the most difficult aspect of all, just not being able to see people as I normally do. But I'm encouraged as I read the words in Romans that I have been justified by faith, that I have found peace through my relationship with Jesus. That's the place I go to when things feel like they're getting on top of me, when I miss people, when I need that company. It's been a time of suffering for so many, but Romans reminds us in this that we need to rejoice. God is with us. Our suffering produces perseverance, and with it, that develops our character, and in turn gives us hope, which is from God. That cannot be lost or stolen. I don't like New Year's resolutions. Mine are usually broken before the end of the first day, especially around chocolate, and certainly by the end of January. So I'm not going to be making any of those. Instead, I'm considering something with a bit more substance and foundation, something that I do not want to be over by the end of January, but something which will embed itself into my life and lifestyle to shape what kind of a year I want 2021 to be for me. For this, I turn to the words of Philippians. I want 2021 to be a year when I focus on and follow the exhortations we find in Philippians, where Paul calls us to rejoice in the Lord always. He wants us to do that so much that he repeats it. A year when my gentleness will be evident to all. A year when I will remember that the Lord is always near me, and where I will grow nearer to him. A year when my anxieties are gone as I pray and petition God in an attitude of thankfulness. I want 2021 to be a year where we can all find the peace of God which transcends our understanding, which will guard our hearts against the evils of this world and keep our minds on Jesus. I pray that 2021 will be a year where we all find God's peace and blessing